Welcome back, everybody, to another live reaction here at I'm Not a Coach. I'm your host, Dave Huerta. Thank you so much, man. And we have a pretty good one here tonight, man. It is the Eagles and the Chargers. Both teams are 8-4, and both teams are trying to secure that wild card spot. The Eagles, they've lost a couple. I would say they've lost a couple avenues to that first seed, but they still are very much in the lead in their own division. At this point, it would have to be a borderline historical collapse by them for them to not be able to finish at the top of their own division. The Cowboys are about 2 games behind them, and then for the Chargers, they are about 2 games behind, 2.5 games actually, behind the Denver Broncos, who are actually the number one seed in the AFC. But regardless, both of these teams are well in the spot to be able to be in the wild card to secure a ticket to potentially get that Super Bowl title, man. That, let's be honest, the Eagles, they would love to go back to back, man. There's been talks of their head coaches, their players, this entire franchise. There's been so much talk about guys getting fired, guys getting let go, traded, not re-signing with this team. They would love nothing than to just be able to turn on a switch, especially in the last couple games of the regular season, and go for a run. And then for the Chargers, obviously they have been a team that's kind of been up and down. Uh, Herbert dealing with an injury, that running game very, very inconsistent, but that defense fairly consistent. That's what's been keeping them in most of these games. And if the Chargers can get a win tonight over the defending Super Bowl champions, that'll go a long way to maybe giving their fan base a little something to hope for at the end here. So, what's happening? Chris Lasso, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Good evening to you, sir. Yeah, sorry about that. So I always have to get the spiel out of the way here, but thank you so much, man. Thank you for joining us. Well, we got David here too. Headed out for a walk with a dog. Then we'll be back for the stream. Oh, who to root for? A tie? Might be, man. Might be. Remember, I put the grease on the players' gloves, man. There's gonna be a lot of drops today. But Chris, how you doing, brother? How you doing? How you doing? All right, we got about 2 minutes here before the game starts. So I'll finish up setting up the old stat sheets here, just so we can kind of talk through those throughout the game. There we go. Perfect. Need McConkey to get me 12 fantasy points. Hey, let's go, man. And I'm smooth sailing. Let's go. Heck yeah, brother. That's good. That's good to hear, man. How are the holidays treating you, man? How was your Thanksgiving and how's your Christmas or shaping up, my man? Let me know. But yeah, dude, I also have McConkey on my fantasy team. Luckily, I finished with the best record or tied for the best record in my league, so I had a bye this week. But next week, man, next week, hopefully McConkey can give me a great week, man, and I can keep it going. Good, brother. At home this week, not needing to travel, so that's a good week. And heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. And then Chris, are you rooting for anybody in this game, man? Eagles, Chargers. I mean, I guess if the let me see here, the Dolphins are still in the race, man. They are still in the race. They still have a chance to make the playoffs. So I guess to help them out, you would want the Chargers to lose here tonight. But maybe McConkey can still like catch 3 touchdowns. But the Eagles, they put up 35. All right. Dicker, the kicker, puts the ball in the air, caught at the 10, to the 20, to the 5, sorry, to the 25, and across the 30, down to the 32. Let's go, man. The Eagles will get the ball to start the game. Holidays have been great so far. Heck yeah, man. Let's go. It's always good to hear, man. Yeah, the holidays can definitely be a little hectic sometimes, man. But dude, if when they're going well, man, it's the best time of the year, man. It's the best time of the year. That's exactly what I need. McConkey TD, but a Philly win. Heck yeah, man. I agree with you. All right, 1st and 10 in the shotgun. Hurts looking. Can't find anybody. Just lofts one up the middle here and dropped. Looking for A.J. Brown. It was a little bit ahead of him, but definitely smacked him right in the hands. But yeah, dude, talking about the Dolphins, man. Holy freaking cow, man. I mean, what I'm trying to remember. Were they 1-5 or 1-6 at one point? Either way, man, they've been they've been pretty dang good the last like month and a half. All right, in the shotgun, Barkley to his right. It's going to be a handoff, and that goes for a yard. So, yeah, this Philly offense, man, and it's been all year long. It has not really changed. They've had a couple games here and there, but that running game has been rough. Barkley's not finding room. Hurts and his receivers have been not on the same page for about 80 to 85% of the games that they have played so far. They've had like one or two really good games where you're like, oh, snap, heck yeah. Otherwise, terrible. All right, Hurts throws it quickly, gets it out to Dallas Goedert, and I think that's going to be a first down. All right, man. The Eagles converting on 3rd and long here. It looks like Henley, the linebacker, was a little late to get into his zone there. Hand off to Barkley, and he picks up about 2. Dolphins were holy shiza. So from 1-6, they have gone now 5-1, dude. 5-1. Like, I don't care how bad you start out, going 5-1 at any point in the season is a good indication. It's gonna be a quick throw to the left, and Jahan Dotson picks up about 3 or 4 there along the left sideline. Oh, look, it's Dotson. It's Dotson. See, nobody cares. Let me see here. Chris Lasso. A few wins here and there, and then may have been on the streak since we. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot they did let him go. All right. Yeah, man. I remember when they were losing, man. There was like talks of like Tua not being a good leader. I've never sensed that he was like that. He wasn't the. I don't think he was the problem. He wasn't playing great, to be fair. But and Hurts running, and he's brought down in the backfield on 3rd and 4, and just like that, Chargers. Sorry, a fan just started. I'm gonna say hugging aggressively an Eagles fan. All right. Hopefully they're friends, because otherwise that's just weird. And it's the former Baltimore Raven, Owe, who was picked up in a trade just before the deadline. He's the one that was able to bring down Hurts for the sack here, forcing a fumble. Sorry, forcing a punt. Sorry, the last time we had the Eagles, they fumbled the ball like I think 3 times. But yeah, let me. So we're gonna have Justin Herbert taking the field here. They're gonna go to a commercial break. Let me see what the Dolphins' schedule is the rest of the way. So yeah, the Dolphins right now on a 4-game win streak. They've won 5 out of their last 6. So for the Dolphins, they have the Steelers, which is a winnable game. That Steelers defense still giving up a lot of yards. That offense is inconsistent. And then after the Steelers, they play the Bengals. Once again, there's going to be some points there. The Bengals now have Joe Burrow back, so he will be putting up some points. But that defense is still one of the worst in the NFL, man. So Dolphins could win there. Tampa Bay, Tampa is playing terrible right now. I think they've won one out of their last four. Pretty sure. I think they're almost the opposite of the Dolphins, man. They've been on a cold streak for a while, and then they finish off with the Patriots. To me, dude, it is possible that the Dolphins could finish their final four games going 3-1. Just saying. Just saying. Which got flex from 8 p.m. to 1 p.m. Makes sense. Can't lie. Yeah. Yep. We'll see. I'll be at the Dolphins back. Hey, let's freaking go, man. All right. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, both teams are. I mean, I was gonna say the Bengals have, as of yesterday, now they are been officially eliminated. So the NFL, yeah, they're probably gonna flex them out, but still, though, that's still gonna be a fun matchup, man. Like, to me, you're gonna watch two really good or really solid quarterbacks. Joe Burrow, in my opinion, is a top three quarterback when he's healthy. Tua, when he's on, man, he is a. I mean, I think he's always a top 10. Sometimes he plays like a top 15 guy, kind of in the middle of the pack, but I would say most of the time Tua is top 12. And then that Dolphins offense really going off. Their defense is playing really well, even after they traded a couple of players at the deadline. And then on top of that, their special teams, man, they've been making some plays on special teams, man. The returners looking pretty good. All right, we got Herbert in the shotgun, running back to his right, single receiver on that left side, ball at the 20. And it's going to be a handoff. I believe that is Kamini Vidal getting another start here. And that's going to be a decent gain up the middle, about 3-ish yards. All right, I see McConkey there. Looks like he's going to be on the left side of the formation. And we got Omarion Hampton back from IR, it looks like, man. It's been a while since we've seen this rookie. I think he was out for at least 2 months. Herbert throws to the right, and it goes out of the hands of Quentin Johnston there. So a drop. We got 3rd and 7 coming up. Heck yeah, dude. Let me see here. I'm trying to think. Yeah, you're gonna have to let me know, man, how that experience goes for you, man, with the Dolphins and Bengals, man. That should be a fun one. Probably, hopefully, a lot of points, maybe a couple defensive plays here and there. All right, we got Herbert in the shotgun, running back to his right. 3 receivers on that right side. Takes the snap. He's got a little bit of time, stepping up in the pocket. And Vidal to the 30, to the 35, 40, 45, 50. Phil, he might be loose. And Zach Bond pushes him out of bounds at the 15. But a massive catch and run by Vidal, baby. Woo! I think Vidal he ran out of juice there towards the end, but still, man, that is a great run, but also pretty good pursuit there by Zach Vaughn, man. It looks like he did have Ladd McConkey open on the right side, but all right, 1st and 10 from the 17. Omarion Hampton with a toss on the left side, and he picks up about, might be a 1st down there, might be 9 or 10 yards. All right, man, the Chargers inside the 10 here. All right, 1st and goal from the 6 here. Hand off to the rookie, and Hampton Picks up about 3 yards down near the 3. And second and goal, ball at the 4. Herbert in the shotgun, running back to his right, single receiver to the left. Looks, throws it underneath, and the rookie Hampton gets into the end zone. And it's the first time we've seen him since week 5 when he fractured his ankle. And what a welcome, man. Opening drive for the Chargers ends with a touchdown. But let me see here. Chris, he had Ladd open, but he knew he was on my starting lineup, so he just Justin Herbert. That son of a gun. It's rude, you know? People don't talk about that, man. People don't talk about how rude Justin Herbert is to our fantasy teams. And Dicker the kicker is good. Chargers, man, open up the scoring here. Their running backs were the stars of this drive, man. Kamini Vidal basically going, I think it was like a 60-plus yard catch and run there down the left sideline, able to get them inside the 20, and then Omarion Hampton did the rest, catching a touchdown there just on that front right side of the end zone. And Dahlia, go Pack, go. Yes, victory week for Green Bay, baby. Woo! Also, beating Chicago, it's even sweeter, man. It's even sweeter. Like, it's fun to beat Detroit. It's fun to beat Minnesota. But it's borderline glorious, heavenly to see the Chicago Bears lose. Every time. Beautiful. And the fact that the game was so close that you could see the hope in Chicago's fans' eyes. They thought that pass when it was sailing through the air, they're like, oh, the 85 Bears. Rex Grossman. Super Bowl. And then the sneaky hands of Keyshawn Nixon snatching that one. Beautiful. Beautiful. Can you tell that I don't make these up beforehand? How was the game yesterday? Wasn't able to tune in. All the games were good, man. The first game that we did, it was the Ravens and the Steelers. Almost forgot. Steelers, they just looked like the more consistent team, which is weird to say because they weren't very consistent in that game. But the Ravens were even worse. And then the Bears in Chicago was a typical Bears. It was a typical Packers and Bears game where you're like, oh, there might be a blowout, and no, it's not. It's going to be close and full of anxiety. Perfect. But the Packers were able to pull it off, man. Luckily, they were able to respond. Every single time Chicago scored, the Packers scored. And at the end, Green Bay was able to make up the difference, scoring, getting to 28 points. And then Keyshawn Nixon with a game-sealing interception with, I think it was like around 25 seconds left in that game. In the end zone, too. That was awesome. And then last night was oh my God, why am I forgetting last night's? Sorry. My brain is so exhausted right now, but, oh yeah, Texans and Chiefs. Wow. Actually, now I know why I didn't remember that one. That was there was a lot of bad offense for a while in that game, but that one was pretty good. It ended pretty well. The Chiefs kind of beat themselves. They were tied 10-10, and they decided to go for it on 4th down at their own 30. And after that, the Texans just they were able to stop them, scored a touchdown, and after that, the Chiefs never came close to scoring again. So. Yeah, Mahomes threw 3 interceptions. I think his receivers and tight ends combined for, I think, like 6 drops in that game, including Travis Kelce. I think he had 3 drops. One of them, he dropped it so badly that it bounced off of his back and got intercepted. Saquon taking the one to the left, and he's loose. And that's a big run by Saquon Barkley, picking up a first down and going out of bounds there. Nice bounce, man. Great blocking down the field. A.J. Brown. All right, they're in Chargers territory here. Ball at the 46. Hurts under center. Another handoff to Saquon. Bouncing it to the left, and he picks up 11 and another first down. All right, man. Okay. Saquon looking a little spry. The offensive line moving the big man out of the way. Once again, really good blocking down the field there by A.J. Brown. All right, ball around the 36, 1st and 10. Hurts, pressured, takes off to the right. He's going to pick up some yardage, picks up about 2 or 3. David Stegosaurus, what's going on? Go Pack, go, baby. Let's go. Heck yeah. Packers, Kings of the North again. Oh, that play is going to be coming back. There was a hold on that one, so it'll still be first down, but it's going to be first and very long. All right, we got 7:29 on the clock. We're midway through the first. All right, ball back at the 46. We got 1st and 20. Hurts in the shotgun, running back to his left. Looking, stays in the pocket, launches one deep down the field, and that is incomplete. Trying to find Devonta Smith there, but the coverage was tight. But David, how you doing tonight, man? How was the doggo walk? All right, 4 receiver set. It's actually going to be a delayed handoff to Saquon, who breaks a couple tackles, and is going to get it down near the 37. Pickup of 9 on that one. Yeah, right now running to that left side, man. Saquon has about, seems like 30 plus yards already running on that left, from that left side. All right, we got 3rd and 12, ball at the 38. Hurts, quick throw over the middle, and he finds Goddard for a first down. All right, 1st and 10, 5 receiver set, ball at the 25. Saquon motioning back into the backfield. Hurts trying to run, takes it off, and he is going to slide down for a loss of 1. David, it was windy and a little chilly, but okay. Glad to be back inside. Glad to be back inside. Did I miss anything awesome? I mean, well, you missed a couple big plays there by the Chargers, but I don't think you were going to be. I don't think you would want to see those anyway. But yeah, it was a big running catch by a running back. He went for like 50, 60 yards. Hurts rolling to his right, avoiding the pressure, and he's going to run and pick up about 3 down to the 24. It's good to see Khalil Mack back out there, man. I remember, what was it like? Seems like almost a month or two ago. He had that nasty elbow injury. He got his arm got stuck between two different players that were just kind of smashed him a little bit. As long as I didn't miss a craptastic spin move or a pick six, then it's all gravy. Nope, no. Weirdly enough, no spin moves. Yeah, not yet, not yet. No pick sixes either. Quick throw gets it out to Smith, and that picks up a yard on 3rd and 9. So once again, the Eagles struggling to move the ball through the air. All right, this is going to be a 41-yard field goal attempt by Jake Elliott. He should be able to knock this one. He's usually one of the more consistent kickers in the NFL. And, yep, right down the middle. All right. All right, baby. We got 3:22 left in the first quarter. All right, I like it. We got actually points from each team. Feel like we haven't had that in a while. Let's see here. David, I picked the Eagles to win, so there's that. But it's the Eagles, so there's. I mean, I'm trying to think here, man. So what's best for the Packers would be the Eagles losing. But what would be best for, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, Chris and David's teams, it would be for the Chargers to lose. So we're at a crossroads here. I think the best thing we can do is hope for a tie. Unless the NFL says that both of these teams suck enough that they both need to lose. That's the only hope. That's the only hope. Roger Goodell comes in and said, you know what? No more ties. If you can't win the game, then you both get losses. You both drop to 8-5. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping that, Roger Goodell does. I hope he pulls a Vince McMahon, from like the 90s, 20s, just pure corruption. Just pure corruption. But for only for entertainment, not for anything else. That'd be the spark to outrage in Philly. They might start some fires. I mean, they start fires even when they win. So I was like, especially if you're if you live in Philly and that happens, you have to wonder. They're like, so did we win? Did we lose? Like what? They do this every time there's a game, man. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Yeah. But all joking aside, though, it's gonna be interesting, man. We were just talking about the Dolphins a couple minutes ago that they've won 5 out of their last 6, so they're very much still in playoff contention. They just need to get a little bit of help from the teams above them at this point. But looking at the rest of their schedule, there's a chance that the Dolphins will go 3-1. There's a chance, and that could potentially get them the last spot in the AFC there, especially with the Colts and a couple other teams struggling. What worries me is that the Dolphins tend to struggle in December. Yeah, that is true. I think see here. How many of their games are at home? When they're at home, they're a little bit play a lot better. All right. Herbert under center, single receiver to the right side, single back in the backfield. Play action, pressure immediately, but somehow able to get it out even with a guy draped all over him. And Hampton picking up about 7 yards on the catch. Haha. They sure do. Got to acknowledge that one. Yeah, man. And to be fair, though, there's very few teams that I've seen handle cold weather well. I hate to say it, but even Green Bay, at least during the Rodgers era, we really struggled to play in cold weather playoff games. It's going to be a handoff, and ooh. Yeah, the front seven there, Jordan Davis said, no, 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 no. Get back here. We're going to drop you for about 4 yards there. All right, so it'll be a 3rd and long here. Dolphins remaining away games are Steelers and Pats. Okay. So the rest are at home. So yeah, man. I mean, there's a chance, man. Bengals and Buccaneers on at home. Two teams that are, one is eliminated, the other one is struggling to win games right now. Tampa Bay. And like I said, the Steelers, they you don't know what you're gonna get from them in a week-to-week basis. But yeah, man. All right, so there's a false start on the Chargers, so that 3rd and long is going to get even longer. So after getting about 7 yards on 1st down, they have gone and lost about 9 yards on the last couple of plays here. All right, Herbert in the shotgun, running back to his left, single receiver to that left side. Oh, and I think they got the Eagles to jump off sides, so there's a free play. Throw it down the field, and he's intercepted. But obviously this will be coming back. Cooper DeJean Mustard with the interception. Yeah, that's all right. Once again, it was a free play, so it was worth the shot down the field. You would want him to throw a little extra air under that one, though. I'd rather miss high than short. At least give your receiver a chance to adjust to the ball. But I'm a guy that's sitting on his couch, so easier said than done. Captain Mickey Mouse, sorry, didn't notice you went live. It's all good, my man. Captain, how you doing, dude? And David, wasn't Mahomes the only one who throws interceptions on free plays? No, dude, I'm trying to think here. J.J. McCarthy has probably thrown a couple interceptions on free plays. He seems like the guy. I don't know, I feel like that was a low blow. He actually played pretty well yesterday. All right, 3rd and 7 here. Herbert, pressure, and down he goes, but he gets rid of the ball before being brought down. Is there a flag for grounding? No. All right, man. Defenses right now, they're looking good. Yeah, the pressure literally right up the middle of the center, not blocking anybody. Nakobe Dean literally just a free runner to Justin Herbert. Wasn't that a good Bills game yesterday, though? It was, man. I caught the highlights, and Jesus, man, both of I hope one day we do get a chance to see Josh and Burrow in the AFC Championship game. Not because I necessarily want either of those teams to win a Super Bowl. Like, don't be wrong, as like a just a football fan, it would be cool to see the Bills finally actually win a Super Bowl for that franchise. Um, like Bills fans, I feel like they're what the amount of charity work that they have supported. I feel like they're a franchise that or a fan base that deserves a title. Let me know if you disagree. Um, but it would just be really cool to see those guys just go head to head, man. Like they put on a show yesterday. I was really disappointed we couldn't stream that game. Hopefully, we'll have another chance, maybe this in the future. Captain, I haven't watched the highlights yet from yesterday's build game. Oh, okay. Did you watch the game though? Let me know. Let me know. David, nope. I'm okay. If Bengals start their off season early, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'm one of those guys that where it's like outside of Minnesota and Detroit, if the Packers aren't in the Super Bowl, give me an interesting matchup, something we haven't seen yet. Yeah, in the last 25 to 30 years, it'd be really cool to see the Bills in the Super Bowl. It'd be really cool to see. Trying to think here. I was about to say the Rams, but we already seen that before. Uh, be pretty interesting to see the Seahawks, man. That defense is, I think it's very good. That offense is very interesting. There are times where they look awful, but most of the time they have been borderline dominant, man. So that'll be another team that'll be interesting to see. Yeah. I feel like because of Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Pat Mahomes, there's been very few teams in the AFC that we have seen go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, it feels like the Chiefs, the Patriots, and the Colts and the Broncos have been really the teams that have are like the only. I feel like they're like 95% of the teams that have made the a Super Bowl berth in the last like 25 years. All right. So it'll be first down at their own 10, handoff to Barkley, and he gets dropped. Let me see here. David Burrow to Indy and Indy versus Bills in AFC Championship. That would be less opposed. Okay. So what is it specifically about the Bengals that you don't like? Is it the owner or is it like something else? If you put Indy on that list, add Pitt twice. Oh, that is true. That is true. Yeah, they've won. Yeah, they won two with Roethlisberger. Then they went to a third one, but they lost to Green Bay. Throw to the left, and Smith able to pick up about five, maybe six there. That was a weird tackle. All right, third down coming up for the Eagles. But we got about 6 seconds left in the first quarter, so that'll likely be the final play. There we go. The Bengals tried to rename Arrowhead. What? Really? How? I didn't hear that. I didn't hear this. Hmm. Interesting. And Chris, if you're still here, my man, give me a couple Super Bowl matchups that you would like to see. Like pick one team from the NFC and one from the AFC that you would be like, you know what, that would be an interesting like matchup. You know, whether it's like the teams now, like this year, or like just like be like, you know what, these franchises we haven't seen them in this situation. That'd be pretty cool. Let me know. Yeah, they called it Burrowhead when Burrow beat Mahomes a few years back. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Gotcha. Okay, now I remember. I'll give them that. I'll give the Bengals that. That is a 9 out of 10 trolling job right there. It's not the most creative name that they could have come up with, but it's not bad. Not bad. But yeah, but how dare they? Don't mess with the house. All right. So while we have a little bit of time, let me just kind of squeeze these bad boys in here, since I made them. So talking about offensively for these teams, for the Eagles at the top here. Oh, hold on, move the mic a little bit. At the top here, boom, there we go. Eagles are still struggling, still throwing less than 200 yards per game. That's actually improved, believe it or not. But they are still 23rd in the NFL. When it comes to rushing, 109, 22nd in the NFL. They are still not turning the ball over. They were actually the number one team for about a month and a half until they turned the ball over, I think, 3 times the last time we saw them last week. So 6 fumbles, 2 interceptions, and they are still the second best offense at keeping the ball safe. 31 touchdowns offensively, good for ninth in the NFL. And then finally, they're scoring only on 33% of their offensive drives this season. One of the lowest ranked teams in the NFL with that. And overthrows it, and it might have been picked off here. They're letting the play run. He returns it down to the 20. And we were just talking about turnovers. Let's see. I think that ball definitely hit the ground. Yeah. All right, so that'll be incomplete. It was just a badly overthrown ball. Hmm. All right, so finally it is overturned. It is an incomplete pass, but it was on 3rd and 5, so Eagles gonna punt it again. Yeah, I think it hit the. Yeah, it just looked from the angle, even live, it looked like he barely got to it. And usually in that case, just because the way that I mean, there's no way you can really like keep the ball while you're diving forward. You know, it's tough. It was a tough. It was gonna be a tough interception. Good effort though. Good effort. All right, punt is away here. Woo! We got a little spin move there, reversing field, trying to outrun guys, and he can't. Ball comes loose. I think it is going to be. I think he's going to be down by contact, so that loose ball is not going to count for much. And that was Kylan Granson with a heck of a tackle there. Able to just get enough of his ankles to bring him down. Haha, lost yardage on the shenanigans. Always doing shenanigans, man. think that's the perfect word. That's what I need to look at that man, David, right there with a great term. I don't like shenanigans on punt and kick returns, man. Don't dance around. Don't try to chop your feet and just pick a lane, man. You look at where your blockers are, catch the ball, and then just run. Just run, just run. I'd rather you just run in a straight line almost, and if all you can get is 7 yards, great. But if you start chopping your feet, usually there's rarely does it ever end in a positive way. So yeah, I am all for no shenanigans on punt returns. All right, let's finish up talking about the offenses. So we talked about the Eagles here. So clearly not having a great season offensively, very very different from what they were last year. But for the Chargers, some improvement. So right now, putting up over 225 through the air, 12th in the NFL, putting up 122 on the ground, and once again, that was without their top pick in Omarion Hampton. So hopefully, this number will be going up for the Chargers, or likely at least it will be going up. And then finally, sorry, not finally, but the next stat right here, 14 turnovers, man. So kind of in the middle of the pack. This team does throw interceptions. Justin Herbert is willing to risk the ball. Right now, 28 touchdowns on offense, mostly throwing it, and then finally scoring on 45% of their offensive drives. And it's going to be a handoff to Hampton. He's running to the left, picks up about 15 yards, and that is a big run by the rookie. It's been a long time since we've seen him, man. He's been gone for I think the last 9 weeks for them. So all right, we got first and 10, ball at the 37. Herbert toss to the left. Hampton only gets about a yard on the play. And right now they're highlighting Herbert's non-throwing hand there. It's all wrapped up. And they're going to get offensive linemen for a hold. So yeah, so right now the Chargers, man, that moving on back towards the end zone. All right, 5 receiver set, 3 to the right. Herbert alone in the shotgun. Ball at the 27. Herbert takes off and runs and gets about 5 yards down to the 32. Cooper DeJean on the tackle. Oh. All right, Herbert in the shotgun, running back to his left. Pressure by Philly. He rolls to his right, delivers a throw, and that is incomplete. I believe that was the rookie tight end Gadsden, who about a month ago, man, was having a really really nice good streak, man. Seemed like he was like almost like the second option in this offense for like 3 or 4 weeks. And since then, man, I think he picked up an injury about a month ago, and since then he's been kind of up and down, not as consistent as he was. All right, we got 3rd and 15. Philly with the last stunts. Herbert avoiding the sack, throws it down the field and trying to find Cooper. Sorry, trying to find Lad McConkey, but Cooper DeJean in on the coverage. All right. Well, after seeing some points kind of early in the first, the defenses have been kind of ruling the day right now. And it's going to be returned to the 26. Yeah, this Philly defense has been playing a little bit better over the last couple weeks. Um, I think they've been the most consistent part of this entire Eagles team. That offense is like I said. I mean, we saw the numbers, man. They are having a rough season on that side of the ball. I will laugh if we hit start at fourth quarter at 3-14. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hope not. I hope not. I'm afraid that this might be the only scores that we get for a while. Let's knock on some wood. Hopefully that's not the case. Let me see here. Ba-da-da. So the Colts have called Philip Rivers. Apparently, they worked him out in to see if he can still play. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think at this point, Philip Rivers probably has more kids than he's played seasons in the NFL. And the Buccaneers have signed Jason Pierre-Paul after tryout. So some of these teams are just going back to like the early 2010s and being like, yeah, we come on, we'll pay you extra to come out of retirement. All right, 1st and 10, and Saquon brought down for a loss here, man. That was Derwin James with a nice tackle in the backfield. All right, 2nd and 11, 5 receiver set, 3 to the left. Ball to 25. Pressure. Oh, he gets wrecked. Hurts just got. I'm pretty sure he just took a shot to the ribs there, but he's back up. There is a flag in the secondary, though, so I think this is going to be on the Chargers. Oh. So it's an illegal contact, so 5 yards, automatic first down. All right, 1st and 10, ball just shy of the 30. Hurts in the shotgun, running back, one on each side there. Throws it out, and he is going to be good for about 4 yards there. That was Shipley with a nice little catch there. I feel like that's kind of a matchup that you would want, man. Khalil Mack on a speedy running back. All right, little play action. Hurts with some time. Finds Dallas Goedert, breaks a tackle to the 40, to the 45, and he is spun down near the 49. Seems like Dallas is really the only guy that's being able to make plays down the field in the passing game. All right. We got 1st and 10, ball at the 49. Hurts, play action, looking, throws it over the middle, and he finds A.J. Brown down to the 29 of L.A. Hurts in the shotgun, hands it off to Saquon, bouncing it, trying to bounce it to the right side, and gets nothing on that one. So we got 9:20 here left in the second quarter. Hurts in the shotgun, dropping back. He's got time. He's going to start rolling to his left. He's going to take off and run, and he picks up about 6, getting it down near the 22. All right, 3rd and 2. Hurts in the shotgun here. Looking, throws, and he's intercepted. And oh, it's a fumble. It's recovered by Hurts. He fumbles the ball. And it's recovered by the Chargers. What the fudge had just happened? It was intercepted. Then the Chargers fumbled, recovered by Hurts. Then he fumbles it, and then it's recovered by the Chargers. Wow, man. We literally just saw 3 turnovers happening in literally a matter of seconds. Interception by a big man. He gets it punched out. Hurts recovers it. He gets it punched out. And finally recovered by Die. Holy cow, man. Wow. All right. All right, man. The NFL has to call both of these teams and tell them to stop. They're clearly both drunk. I know Mondays can be rough, but you gotta get it together, man. You gotta get it together. All right, tighten up, man. And like when I mean by Titan, I mean Tight, not the Titans. Like don't do that. That's what the Titans are doing over there in Tennessee should be a crime. That's terrible. Don't do that. Just tighten it up. Tighten it up. I don't think you could switch the ball as fast as they switch the ball. No, I definitely could not. Definitely could not. But the Chargers do have the ball. Um, Weirdly enough. All right. Yeah, that was a weird sequence there, but that was hilarious. That was hilarious. And I wonder how that is recorded, man, because that is so Hertz technically he threw the interception and he recovered the fumble, but then he fumbled. So is that two turnovers for Jalen Hurts, all in basically what it came out to just be one play there? Also, I don't know who or why he was throwing that one, man. That was like sure you don't expect a defensive lineman to be dropping back into coverage, but still, geez. All right, first and 10, ball at the 43 there for the Chargers. Hopefully they can take advantage of this. It's going to be a handoff to Vidal, and he's good for about 8 or 9 yards there. All right, ball at the 49 of Philly. Herbert throws it out to Johnston, and he is just wrapped up right at the line, man. Adoree Jackson making a heck of a play. All right, we got Herbert in the shotgun, running back behind him. Blocking, rolling to his left, throws it down the field, and he's got. Is that O'Marion Hampton? Who is that? No, that is Harris with a great catch, man. In tight coverage over the middle. Gets a big first down for the Chargers there. They're in a field goal range now. Herbert with a handoff, and it's going to be a pickup of about 5 yards there for Kamini. Kamini Vidal, man, one of my favorite names to say. It's got a lot. It just rolls off the tongue. All right, 2nd and 4. Herbert in the shotgun, hands it off to Omarion Hampton, and he is good for about half a yard down to the 25. And we got a Chargers player down on the ground. It looks like one of the offensive linemen. Trey Pipkins. Yeah, Pipkins a 3rd-round pick from Sauk Falls, actually, back in 2019 for the Chargers. Yeah, Trey Pipkins, once again, Sauk Falls. He is one of only 2 players in their entire program's history to be drafted in the NFL. The other is punter Brian Henson in 1984. And then 35 years later, Trey Pipkins, offensive lineman in the 3rd round. And yeah, Brian Henson, yes, it was such a long time ago that he was drafted in the 9th round. There's no 9th round anymore. There's not even an 8th round in the NFL draft. All right. So we're not getting, haven't seen any updates of whether he's up and moving here. So we're gonna go with talking about the defensive stats while we have a little bit of time. So starting right up here with the Eagles. So defensively, they have not been much better in their rankings. They are the 20th ranked passing defense, the 24th ranked rushing defense, going up against one of the better rushing teams in the NFL. They've only forced 13 turnovers, 21st in the NFL. Oh, hold up. All right, we got Herbert in the shotgun, trying to step up in the pocket, runs himself into nearly getting sacked. And looks like we have a flag in the backfield here, so probably a hold. Yep. Yeah, so Pipkins, he's actually not even the starter that came into most of the season. They had Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. Joe Alt actually missed the beginning of the season. He came back for a couple games. He was one of their top draft picks last year. And then now he's on IR again after a nasty ankle injury. Rashawn Slater is also done for the year. And now Pipkins. All right. Dicker the Kickers is good from 45. All right. Chargers up by a full 7 here. We got 4:55 left in the first half. Quick Dave, Packers number 9. Name them. Number 9? Who wears number 9? Isn't that Christian Watson? Okay. Yeah. Sorry, man. My brain doesn't really work that well, man. It's just trying to remember things is like it's a no go anymore, man. You know. You know, 6 years ago, dude, I could remember so many things. Last 5 years, man, gone. And returning it to the 2025 and down to the 28. Whoa. All right, ball at the 28 here. Hurts in the shotgun, running back to his right. Devonta Smith in motion. Play action a little here. Pressure, throws, and incomplete, man. The pressure up the middle has just been fairly consistent, man. Yeah, I believe that was Tuli Pelotu able to get the pressure there. Hurts in the shotgun. Barkley to his left. Pressure again, and he's intercepted again. And he goes down at the 30. Undercut the route, and wow. Coming into this game, I'm pretty sure Hurts had only thrown 2 interceptions all season. I think he's thrown, I think he came in throwing just 2. Wow. Wow. If you're any team in the NFC right now, you are loving this right now. Eagles already with 3 turnovers in this game. All right, Chargers get the ball at the 30. Herbert fumbles the ball and it's recovered by the Eagles. What the heck is going on? I think these teams have to have the shortest amount of time between turnovers. Like there was 3 turnovers in a span of like 5 seconds on the previous couple drives. And now we get an interception and a fumble recovery within what, maybe 30 seconds, if that. Like if you combine the entire time that it took to get to those 5 turnovers, just condensed them, less than 60 seconds. probably less than 45 seconds. Like, I don't know if anybody has that stat on hand. Like, I don't know if you can Google it or if AI could answer that, but that would be a very interesting stat to try to find, or just a fact of like, yeah, that's crazy. All right. Well, I guess these teams really want to test how much I can move this ball around on the screen here. So Philly back with the ball. They actually gained yardage because they fumbled. They got intercepted at their own 20 something, and now they had the ball near the 40. And Barkley runs it up the middle, picks up about 8 or 9 yards, man. All right. 2nd and 1. Hands it off to the left. And he picks up a first down to the Chargers 45. I didn't even see the Philly possession. I stepped away after the field goal and came back to the Chargers with a play with a fumble. Yep. It was literally just a great play by the Chargers, man, able to undercut the route in zone coverage. And then not even 30 seconds later, the first play by the Chargers ends with Herbert getting sacked, fumbling the ball. It was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Ooh. So right now they're taking Derwin James off the field because he bumped into his one of his own defensive linemen, took a shot to the head or the neck, and getting hit by one of those freaking thighs, man. Jesus. All right, Barkley with a run, makes a great cut, makes a man miss, picks up 13 yards and a first down for the Eagles. Woo. Massive hole, great jump cut. All right, ball at the 31, 1st and 10. Eagles to the left. Barkley is good for about 2 or 3 there. That was a Henley on the tackle. Let me see here. Sounds like we are 2 plays from a pick six. Come on. They're teasing us, man. They're teasing us. And now one of the Eagles players is injured. He's walking off the field. That is Dickerson. Quick throw to the left, gets it out to A.J. Brown, and he gets it inside the 20 for a first down, and the Eagles are in the red zone here. And we have reached the 2-minute warning here in Los Angeles. Oh, here's this is kind of the stat, almost what I was looking for. 5 turnovers in 11 plays between the Chargers and the Eagles. 5 turnovers in 11 plays. Yes. Yeah, I think that's the stat. Yeah, I don't think they considered the possession a play. So like, yeah, that interception, fumble. I don't think they considered those three plays. It was just one play. All right. All right. So let me finish this up before we finish the first half here. Boom. So we're gonna continue up here. Where were we left off? Turnovers for the Eagles coming into this game. Only 13 turnovers for their defense, I should say. That number has gone up over the last couple plays here. They've given up 26 touchdowns on defense. Good for seventh in the NFL. And right now, in terms of pressure that they're putting on the quarterback, 22% of the time they're kind of in that middle spot. But that number seems like it's going to be going up quite a bit because they have been putting pressure on Justin Herbert all game long. So, all right, looks like we are back here. Dickerson, it looks like he's heading into the locker room. And Hurts under center, hands it off to, this is not Barkley, this is Tank Bigsby, it looks like. And he is good for about 3 yards over the middle. All right. 2nd and 6. Fakes the handoff, gets it out to Dallas Goedert, and he is taken out of bounds near the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Eagles, man. All right, Dallas Goedert, man, he has been the one consistent outside of maybe Saquon, who's picking up some steam over the last few drives. And Hurts is going to call a timeout here before the play clock runs down. All right, we got 113, ball at the 2. Hurts in the shotgun, running back to his right. Hands it off to Saquon, and he gets stuffed right at the 2-yard line. Ooh, that was the big man, dude. Tart able to fight through a double team there from the center and the right guard to be able to get to Barkley in the backfield. So the good news is Derwin James was being evaluated for concussion. He's back on the sidelines with his helmet on. Right, Hurts alone in the shotgun. Two receivers to the left. Roll into that left side. Looking, throws to the right, and he finds A.J. Brown. But we do have a flag in the backfield, and based on Sirianni's reaction, it's going to be on the Eagles. Holding penalty, yep. And that's on Jordan Mailata. Yeah, sorry, Sirianni needs to calm down every once in a while, man. He's always yelling. Always yelling. All right, ball back at the 12. Hurts attempting to run initially, but is now going to have to throw this one away. Incomplete. 3rd and goal coming up. And Derwin James back on the field here, man, for this 3rd down play. 59 seconds left. Sorry, man. Jim Harbaugh, man, just had his. He always kind of tends to have his mouth just agape. Just. It'd be so hilarious if Hurts throws a pick six here. All right, Eagles break the huddle. Hurts in the shotgun. We got 2 receivers split out to the left, 3 there on the right side. Takes the snap, looks, pressure, and gets out of a sack. Pursued by Henley. I think that's a fumble. It's recovered by the Eagles. It was advanced, but they're saying it's incomplete. I didn't say. I don't know, man. They're saying that's an incomplete pass. That looks like a fumble to me. After review, it's an incomplete pass. I don't know, man. That looks like a fumble to me, but I think it's a moot point at this point. It was still recovered by the Eagles anyway, so it was either going to be they recovered it at where they called the ball dead, or it was advanced all the way down to like I think the 5 or the 4. All right, man. Jake Elliott in for a 30-yarder here, just kind of before the half, and it's good. It's good. All right, man. The Eagles with a scintillating 6 points here, man. I think it's a little bit above their average. I think they need to slow down. You know, it's like kind of eating too quickly. They're going to get a stomach ache if they almost get to double digits here before the half. Whichever puts them further back, I think it's that. So you got moved back to your 12. You have 2 timeouts left. And your running game has been phenomenal the last 2 drives. Why would you not try to run it once? And it's not like your passing game, even coming into this game, was any good. So I don't know. The Eagles baffle me, man, with their play calling. It's weird. All right, it's going to be a decent return there by the Chargers. Might actually have a chance here for some points. Got 3 timeouts. Got about, I think, like around 40 seconds, 45 seconds. So I know I was joking yesterday about putting butter on the players' hands, both of these teams. I think that might be. I think I did it. I think I did. I think I actually did. These guys can't hold on to the damn ball at all, man. All right, 3 receivers bunched up to the right. Herbert looking deep down the field, throws a and that's nowhere near anybody. Yeah, I cut that off. I was about to get excited, and I was like, oh, there's not even a Charger within probably like 15 yards of that thing. Oh yeah, that's awesome. See, I got your back, man. I got your back. All right. I'm a man of my word. I said I was gonna do it. I didn't think it was gonna be this effective. I thought, maybe one fumble, maybe a couple drops here and there, but yeah, these guys are just like it's like a bar of soap out there, man. Can't hold on to it. It's gonna find somebody about 6 yards down the field. That is Keenan Allen. And the Chargers are not going to use any of their timeouts, letting the clock wind down. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Take your time. There we go. Herbert looking, throws it away, and he's intercepted. What the heck was that? Adoree Jackson intercepts the pass. He gets slammed down to the field, and he is writhing in pain. They're going to call the Chargers for unnecessary roughness. Or a personal foul on Kamini Vidal. And that's actually going to give the Eagles probably a chance at another field goal before the half. Was that ball tipped? And that is the former Miami Dolphin, Phillips, who has been arguably their best defensive player since they traded for him. He gets an arm on Justin Herbert, able to affect that ball, and that's what caused Also, why is Vidal getting flagged for bringing somebody down that is clearly trying to stay on their feet and trying to advance the ball? Like he didn't pick him up and slam him. He literally just slung him down. So that penalty should not have been called on him. Anyway, these teams are in a bake-off turnover style. Yes. The bakery is open for business here. Dahlia, wow, just wow. We have 6 turnovers in this first half. 6. 3 interceptions, 3 fumbles. Half of those came on the exact same play. And right now they are confused. Jalen Hurts can't find his helmet. They were initially going to send out Jake Elliott for the kick, but then there's 10. They moved the clock to 10 seconds, and then they were trying to get the offense out there. Saquon was telling Hurts to take his helmet. He was saying no, he wanted his own, and it was like, what the hell? All right, ball at the 30. Hurts looking, throws, and that is. I thought it was gonna be picked off, dude. That would have been. Dude, that would have been hilarious if it was picked off. It just went out of bounds. There was nobody. Dave blocked. Field goal attempt returned for no gain. Would be... Oh, dude, that would be... Please let that happen. Right. Jake Elliott, so far, perfect. 2 for 2. About to make it 3 for 3 here with the 48-yarder. And... No, it's wide. Oh my God, it's wide freaking left. Okay, I was being a little bit of a jerk, saying that he was perfect 2 for 2. You saw me smile just before the kick, because I was like, let's see if I can curse him. I did not think it was gonna actually happen, man. See, the Eagles were about to score too much. They got a stomach ache. They need to pace themselves. They can't be scoring 9 points and a half, dude. What the heck? What do you think? You're the Broncos? I'll say this. We've on the channel we have seen it's halftime, by the way. We've seen a lot of low scoring, very boring first halves. We've seen a lot of it. But this one, it's a low scoring game, but it has been freaking hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Like, if it's going to be low scoring, entertain us. Entertain us with just terrible execution, borderline meme-worthy turnovers. Like, I'm a simple man. I'm a very simple man. Either give me some good plays, give me some good scores, or just make it so terrible that it's funny. And right now, that's what we're getting between these two teams. So I want to say thank you to the Philadelphia Eagles and thank you to the Los Angeles Chargers, because this has been one of the most entertaining 6-10 first halves I think we've had on the channel, man. So salute to them for their incompetence. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Watch them clean up turnovers in the second half in like 20. No, that's... Yeah, now they're going to be all... They're like, oh, we got to make adjustments. You know, we actually got to try to win the game or something. It's like, no, you don't. Yeah. Like, honestly, dude, if the second half is just... Like what they had 6 turnovers. If they do 8 turnovers or 9 turnovers in the second half, and this is how this ends, the score, I would not be mad about it. Let me know if you disagree. If there was 8 or 9 turnovers in the second half, would you be disappointed if there was not a single point scored in the second half? Because that would be hilarious. It would be hilarious. That would be awesome. Yeah. Oh, man. Unbelievable. All right, hold on. All right, let me adjust this just a little bit. There we go. All right, it's kind of bothering me a little bit. I already have been dealing with a migraine for 2 days, and watching this game isn't helping. My neck hurts now. Oh my god, dude! I still can't believe. Like again, I was trying to be kind of funny. I was trying to be, I was like, oh, let's see if I can curse Jake Elliott, who's a really good kicker and like seems like a good guy. He's been a really good kicker for a long time. But I was like, that's why I kind of smirked before the kick. I was like, we'll see what happens. And the fact that it went wide left and it never looked like it was gonna make it, man, is just so freaking hilarious. Oh man, yeah, these teams are just god awful tonight, but entertaining. I'll give them that. Let me see here. Trying to find if there's anything interesting there. Some some stats about like there's like the first time that there was like this many turnovers, this many missed opportunities at points, but all right, let's let's look at the old stat sheet here for these teams. All right, we got Jalen Hurts, who's 10 of 19, 95 yards, two interceptions, no touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, 13 carries, 69 yards. Nice. Gain of 5.3 yards per carry, man. How do you also not give the ball to Saquon? Like, you have 10 seconds left, you have two timeouts. Instead of giving Saquon a chance to, even if he only picks up 3 yards, that 45 yarder turns into a 40, sorry, that 48 yarder before the half turns into a 45 yarder. Or he hits his average, which is 5 to 6 yards. Like, how do you not give him a chance to do something with that? And instead, you go with, yeah, our passing game has been shite all season long, and it hasn't been much better tonight at all. Let's see if we can get a Hail Mary and see what we can do in 10 seconds. Terrible, 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 terrible. Dallas Goddard, 4 for 49. A.J. Brown, 2 for 33. And that's kind of all of note. Nakobe Dean does have the strip sack. And then Jalen Hunt with another sack there as well. Oh, man. Justin Herbert, 6 of 12, 95 yards. Both Herbert and Hurts have the same amount of passing yards. And they also have the same amount of turnovers as well. Actually, no, sorry. Hurts has thrown the ball, 2 interceptions, and he's also fumbled, so he's got 3. Never mind. But yeah, 6 of 12, 95 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for Justin Herbert. Omarion Hampton, 5 for 24, averaging nearly 5 yards per carry. So both teams, both their top running backs are averaging around 5 yards, and yet they still have these quarterbacks who have thrown interceptions, have fumbled the ball, have turned the ball over multiple times. And they're like, yeah, our running backs looking good, averaging 5 yards per carry. That's enough to get a first down on 2 plays, basically. Instead, now let's give it to the guys that keep on giving the ball away. What the heck are we doing? Kamini Vidal, 3 for 17. He's averaging nearly 6 yards per carry. Vidal is the leading receiver as well for The Chargers, one catch for 60 yards. Trey Harris, one for 18. And Odafe Uwe has the one sack for the Chargers. Eagles with 11 first downs. Chargers with 5. Both of these teams have only converted twice on third down. Chargers are 2 for 6. Eagles are 2 for 7. And the Chargers have fumbled the ball twice, have intercepted it, have thrown one interception, and the Eagles have fumbled the ball once and been intercepted twice. All right. And the Eagles right now have over 7 minutes of possession as an advantage there. So 18:43 to 11:17, and yet they are trailing by 4. Dang. All right, so both of these teams just need to run the ball a little bit more in the second half. I think whoever figures that out first, whoever really commits to the run, I think is going to be able to win this game. That's my prediction for the second half. And hopefully we get a couple pick sixes. I think at this point, both of these quarterbacks deserve to throw a pick six for how they have played. And yeah. Yep. All right. I think I didn't finish up talking about this, so we got a little bit of time here. So we did talk about the Eagles defensively. They're actually playing. Surprisingly, their defense is actually playing pretty well tonight. Only giving up 10 points there, and it seems like half of these drives for the Chargers have started in Eagles territory. So kudos to their defense. They're doing pretty well in this game. So at the top here with the Chargers, they're only giving up 168 yards through the air, which is insane. They are the second best defense against the pass this season, giving up a little over 107 yards on the ground, 13th, kind of in the middle of the pack. They have been able to force 13 turnovers coming into this game. That was 21st. They obviously have tacked on a trio of turnovers in this game. And they have been giving up 26 touchdowns defensively, which is good for 9th in the NFL. And weirdly enough, both of these teams defensively ranked 21st. They have 13 turnovers, and each of them has now been able to pick up 3 turnovers each. So they are very much married to each other in this statistic. It just doesn't seem like any one of these two teams want to take the lead when it comes to the turnover battle. And then finally, they are almost right next to each other in terms of the amount of pressure that they put on the quarterback. The Chargers only putting up 21% on opposing quarterback dropbacks. So, yeah. I know, but what do you guys think? What are you expecting in the second half? What would you like to see? And what do you think? Who is the team that's going to be able to win this? What are they going to be able to do that breaks the difference? Because either the Chargers are going to be able to pull away or keep the Eagles at bay, or the Eagles are going to come back to win this one. David, hard to believe Chargers might not charger it. I know. That's a weird thing, man. It's weird when the Chargers are not the team that is more likely to just absolutely just fall apart at the end here. The Eagles have been doing an incredible job the last couple weeks of kind of throwing their hat in in that. So while we have a little bit of time, let's look around the league at some news. So unfortunately, some bad news for the Chiefs. Wanya Morris, the left tackle who left the last night's game early, he is done for the season with a knee injury, man. So another injury to the Eagles' offensive line. They've already put Josh Simmons, the rookie tackle, he's been on IR, and I think Creed Humphreys was also out for a while. So the only positive though, if there is a silver lining, Essa Poole, the guy that took over at that left tackle position, he was pretty dang good. I think that's a great sign, and that's probably something that they're gonna use these next couple months, or sorry, the next couple weeks, to kind of test Poole out and see if he can be a guy that can compete for a job next year, or at least he can prove himself to be a really good backup. So a little silver lining there. It looks like you found a really good offensive lineman there in Poole, or Pole. Sorry, not Poole. Pole. All right, we're back. Chargers get the ball to start the second half. They return it to the 20-25 and across the 30 down to the 32. All right. Toss. And that goes nowhere, man. Philly ready for the run on that one. All right. Herbert in the shotgun, running back behind him. Hands it off. Vidal finding some room, able to bounce it to the left, and he picks up about 6. And Herbert climbing the pocket. He's going to take off, and it's going to be a first down run for Justin Herbert. All right, first and 10, ball at the 44. Hands it off to Vidal, and he is met by Jordan Davis over the middle. Picks up maybe a yard on that one. Dude, seriously, man. Jordan Davis is just a massive, massive human being. And Herbert looks, finds Quentin Johnston, and he picks up about 8 yards on that one. Yeah, just a nice little shallow route there across the field towards the right sideline. All right, 3rd and 2. They are in Eagles territory. Ball at the 48. Hands it off to Vidal, and he powers through for a first down. Ball at the 45. Oh, actually, no. That was Omarion Hampton. All right, Herbert under center, single back in the backfield. It's going to be an end around. He's got the edge, and he only picks up 2, though. That is Trey Harris. And Herbert hands it off. Vidal only picks up about a yard there. It might have been a face mask. Nakobe Dean able to bring him down. And I don't think he did. He definitely had the shoulder pad. I think it just, when his hand slid across. I don't think there was a grab, though. Herbert pressured. Gets out of a sack. He's going to take off to the 40-30, and he goes out of bounds near the 27. Justin Herbert using his legs on this drive to pick up a pair of first downs, and they are now well into field goal range here. And Vidal able to pick up, I believe that was a blitzing Nakobe Dean. Running right up the middle. Hampton runs to the left, and he picks up about a yard, maybe 2. Yeah, there's a really good offensive drive for the Chargers, man. I was about to say, 10 plays, 42 yards, over 6 minutes taken off the clock, man. If they can end this with a touchdown, that'll be huge, man. Herbert looking, throws it underneath Gadsden, and he is good for about 8 yards. Yeah, Gadsden already over 500 yards on the year, man. It's already a pretty good season for a tight end, let alone a rookie, 5th round tight end. All right, toss to the left. Hampton trying to bounce it to the outside. I think he made a mistake there, man. I think he had a chance to kind of just cut it upfield, pick up a yard or 2, make it a little bit closer there. But it'll be 4th down, man. That's a great job by Philly, man. And I feel like Philly is one of the best teams at when their defense is being moved kind of sideline to sideline. They do a great job of just being able to like it's like a wave, you know. Like one guy, once he kind of reaches that max and he gets blocked, the next guy is right behind him. It just keeps going and going. He just never seemed to be able to find an open lane. And Dicker the kicker is good from 36. All right, man. The Chargers reestablishing a 7-point lead here. We do have a flag, though. It's going to be unsportsmanlike on the Eagles, man. It's Moro Ojimo. And that's going to be an automatic first down. That's going to give the Chargers a second chance at trying to score a touchdown on this drive. Yep, he used the Chargers player for leverage. He put his hands on his back. Wow. Just shooting yourself in the foot. All right. So 7:08, first and goal, ball at the 9. Herbert. It'd be hilarious if he throws a pick. Oh, man. All right. Herbert under center now. Toss to the left. Vidal met in the backfield. It's going to lose 4 yards back at the 13. That was Blankenship able to bring him down. Dave, I was going to say that. Oh. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Chris McConkey dropping a donut. The universe knows exactly what that. Dude, it just sometimes it feels like that, dude. Like a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh, I'm good, and then it's just like I was like, why? Herbert trying to run and he runs into a sack. The Chargers really don't want to win this game, man. They really do not want to win this game. That's unbelievable. But yeah, no, man, I'm right there with you, dude. McConkey is on my team. Like the only good thing that's saving me right now is that I have a bye. That's the only thing. Otherwise, I would probably be losing this week. I think I have like 120 in terms of points, but still. Yeah, the only good thing is usually that means McConkey is going to be making up for it next week. And Herbert trying to get it to Vidal, and it goes incomplete. So Chargers literally did nothing with that extra chance. But I believe in McConkey, man. All you need is just one great play, man. One great play. That's all you need. All right. Dicker the kicker. He was good from 36. This one from 34. And it's good. It's good. So that was a whole waste of nothing. Watch him miss this time. Oh, man. Honestly, I probably should have said that too, man. Just to even it out. Just to even it out for Eagles fans. All right. see here. So apparently during one of the sack there on the previous possession there for the Chargers, or the one that we just had, they were apparently the defenders had been punching at Justin Herbert's messed up left hand, which is whew, that's rough. Like imagine it's gonna. I don't know how this example is gonna go, but imagine you go to your job, you're injured, and I don't know. Are customers considered the opposition? I don't know, or at least the other team. But imagine if like a customer was allowed to just, you have like a bad ankle, and they just like were like, hey, can you give me this on a deal? You're like, no, no, I can't, and they just start kicking your ankle. I don't know, man. If I'm Justin Herbert, I'm talking to the NFL. I'm talking to HR. I'm be like, they're being mean. All right, I'm hurt. I have limitations, and they're Dylan. Hey, what's going on, Dylan? What's going on, my man? Hey, hey. How you doing tonight, dude? Dylan, are you watching the game or just popping in just to kind of check it out, man? Let me know. Let me know. If you have been watching, what have you thought so far? And it's going to be a great return. It's a fumble, and it's recovered by Shipley. Oh my God, man! We almost had another freaking turnover. Seriously, man, I put a little too much butter on these gloves, man. This ball's just flying out, man. Sorry, that wasn't Shipley. That was Covey with the fumble and the recovery. So close. So close. All right, we got 5:24 here left in the third. Play action. Throws to the right, and he finds A.J. Brown across the 40. And that's a massive, massive play for this Eagles offense, man. They have needed something to get started. They are in Chargers territory now. David, so close. Butter and canola oil and some WD 40. Oh, yeah, man. Dude, WD 40, man. That thing. You'll be dude. If you put that on the floor, man, you're gonna be gliding all the way across your house. All right, pressure hurts. Rolling to his left, delivers a throw, and that's gonna be incomplete. And Dylan, not too bad. Yeah, I am. I want the Eagles to lose because I am a Bucks fan too. Oh, hey, there we go. Let's go, man. Bucks fan, dude. Heck yeah, man. Hey, man, your Bucks are still in that division lead, man, but they gotta get their stuff together just a little bit. I think they've been dealing with some injuries for sure, though. Yeah, I like Baker, man. I like Baker as a quarterback. So I'm hoping they can. I hope they make the playoffs. That's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, man. But Dylan, welcome to the channel, man. Appreciate you popping in, dude. All right, Barkley gets the handoff. He spins out of a tackle, but he's going to lose about 4 or 5 yards after running out of bounds. David, I'm happy for Baker's success there. 100%, man. 100%. Especially the way he was treated over there in Cleveland. I was glad to see that Baker found a place that is embracing him there. Yeah, hopefully they can get that ship righted, man. It's been a rough couple weeks, or a rough few weeks actually, for the Bucks. But Dylan, dude, did you watch that first half, man, with all the turnovers? Quick throw gets it out to AJ, and it'll be 3rd and 15, but only picks up about half of the yardage. Yeah, he's been doing great. That's good. Yeah, heck yeah. Love Baker. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Yeah, it seems like the people that don't really root for Baker are people that are still hung up on the stuff that he was doing when he was like 19 or 20 years old. Kick is up, and it is. Ooh, it is good for Jake Elliott, but that one was drifting on him a little bit. But yeah, what's the rest of the schedule looking like for the Buccaneers, man? I haven't really looked. All right, so for the Bucks, they got the Falcons, the Panthers, the Dolphins, and then again the Panthers. So oh wow. So the top two teams in that division are going to go up against each other. Okay. Yeah, that's what we got 3 games in the division, Falcons, Panthers twice. Oh, and Dylan, did you guys see that you guys picked up Jason Pierre-Paul? He's back in the Buccaneers uniform. JPP. All right, so we're on a commercial break. We're not missing a thing here. All right. Dylan, yeah, I am worrying about the Panthers. Yeah, it's weird, man. The Panthers are this season. They're a team that is it's like very Jekyll and Hyde, which I think you could say for most of the teams in the NFL. This has also been just a weird season, to be honest with you. It's been one of the weirdest ones I've ever seen. But yeah, the Panthers are very Jekyll and Hyde. Sometimes they look like a team that is a playoff contender, and then there are times where they're like, oh wow, it looks like they're still playing back in like 2021 or 2022. And yes, that will help very much. Hey, there we go. Heck yeah, dude. Oh man. All right. Elliott kicks this one off. Vidal returning this one, and he is brought down from behind back at the 25. So we got 3:22 left here in the third quarter. It's 9-13. Chargers on top with the ball. And Dylan, who do you expect to win tonight, man? You picking the Chargers or are you picking the Eagles? Herbert pressured, rolling, and he's going to take a hit from behind. He fumbles the ball, but it's recovered by his own offensive lineman. And I think, sorry, that's actually Matlock, the fullback. And it looks like Herbert might have injured himself because he is very slow to get up. He actually had it picked up by his own offensive lineman. All right. Well, Herbert is staying on the field here. So 2nd and 5, ball at the 30. Vidal breaks the tackle. He gets a first down across the 40, 45, and down to the 47. But there is a flag. Let me see here. What team are you a fan of? I am a Packer fan, my friend. Yeah, I got the banner here, and then I was born and raised in Wisconsin, so it comes with the territory. But yeah, man, I'm a Packer fan. Yeah, we do 5 games on the channel every single week. We do 5 streams, and one of them is always the Packers, always. But yeah. Chris, that was a massive. Yes, it was, dude. I'm surprised he stayed on the field. It looked like he was like concussed or just out of it for a bit, but he seems fine now. So unfortunately, that run will be taken away. So it is 2nd and 13, back at the 22. Herbert looking, has a little bit of time, but is now going to run out of it. Sacked back at the 12, loss of 10. David, he got folded there. Yes, he did, dude. Got folded like some laundry, man. Dylan, I got the Eagles. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Did I even... Who did I pick? I think I picked the Eagles to win. Yeah, just because I like their defense a little bit better. Just a little bit. And it's going to be a run up the middle on 3rd and 22. Picks up about 5. Heck yeah, man. Chris, what did you think of the first half, man, with all the turnovers? All right, former Packer punter J.K. Scott in for this punt. Puts this one in the air. It's not amazing, but it does get fair caught around the 39. It looks like Justin was holding on to his left shoulder there after the sack. He already has an injury to his left hand, and now he was holding on to that left shoulder. Tuned out for a bit, had to go out for something, but I definitely watched the interception and the fumble in the same play by Hurts. That was, yes, it was, dude. Yep. And I think it was a couple plays later. There was 5 turnovers in 11 plays. But then the next sequence, Hurts throws an interception, and then not even 30 seconds later, Justin Herbert gets sacked and he fumbles the ball. So back-to-back plays, back-to-back turnovers. So, like, the turnovers in this game have come in bunches. There was an interception, then a fumble by the Chargers on the exact same play on the return, and then it was recovered by Hurts, who fumbled it seconds later, or like a half second later. And then, yeah, just interception by Hurts, a second one, and then a fumble by Herbert on the very next play, man. It was just, like, absolutely wild. Chris, the defensive showout, 100%, man. Yeah, it doesn't seem like either one of these teams offensively want to win the game. They're just like, it's like, the end zone is like all the way over there, man. Like, it's just like, it's just easier just to punt it. But yeah, at the very least, the defense is giving us some entertainment, man. Yeah, Lad McConkey, 2 targets, 0 receptions. What the heck, man? All right, Eagles with the ball at the 39. Hurts under center. Hands it off to Saquon, and he gets dropped for a loss of 1. Literally, by the time he got the handoff, there was already 3 Chargers in the backfield. And that's why. They're going to get the Chargers for encroachment there. Or being offsides, I should say. All right, 1st and 5. Hurts under center. Roll into his right, pressure immediately, and he goes and throws it out of bounds. 2nd and 5 coming up. Heck yeah, man. Look at this, man. We got 4 people watching a Monday night game that doesn't have a whole lot of points to it. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you're new to the channel or just joined us, please leave a like on the video. It helps the video a ton. And subscribe if you haven't. It's a great free way to support me on the channel. All right, Hurts alone in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right. Sets up a bubble screen to Dallas Goedert, and he dives, but he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. So 3rd and 1 coming up. All right, that's the final play of the 3rd quarter. We're going to head to the 4th with everything to play for. Eagles with the ball. They are down by 4. They have a chance to take the lead here for the first time in this game. Yeah, let's see the stats of this game so far, man. They're not going to be pretty, but kind of just want to see because at the half I was talking about these teams needed to commit to the run. Both of their top running backs were averaging at least 5 yards per carry, and on top of that, their quarterbacks have been the guys that are causing the turnovers. Hurts had 3 in the first half. Herbert had 2 in the first half. So Saquon, 14 carries, so a few more than he did in the first half, but 14 carries, 65 yards. He is averaging about 4.5 yards per carry. AJ Brown, 4 catches, 65 yards. So he's actually having a pretty efficient night when he's getting the ball. And Omarion Hampton, 9 for 29, and Kamini Vidal, 9 for 25. So the Chargers, their running backs their efficiency has gone way, way down. Omarion was around 4.7, and Kamini, I think, was at 5.7. And now both of them are well under 3.5. So, yeah, the running game is not working for the Chargers. The passing game is not working for them, really. Herbert has been sacked 5 times. He's been pressured almost every single drop back. And right now, that's also why I think the Chargers might lose this one, man. The Eagles are not playing significantly better, but the Chargers, the running game is not working. The passing game is not working. The pass blocking is not working. And the only thing that's keeping them ahead right now is their defense. And Dicker the kicker. Legitimately, man, if the Eagles can score a touchdown and if they can still continue to get into field goal range, they all they need is probably one touchdown and maybe a field goal, and I think that would potentially be enough to win this one. All right, toss to the left. Saquon breaks loose. He's gone to the 30, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. And there it is, man. The touchdown I was just talking about. 9 seconds into the fourth quarter, and the Eagles punch it in for the first time tonight. Woo! Almost waking me up there, man. There you go, man. Saquon with the speed, with the patience, too, letting his blockers develop. And Jake Elliott tacking on another point there. And the Eagles with a 3-point lead there, up for the first time tonight. And they do it on the very first play of the fourth quarter. All right. Championship pedigree? No, probably not. Whoa. Well, that did take a while, man, but they finally got something going here. Jeez, took them forever. So yeah, they were lined up as if they were going to do a little bit of a tush push. It wasn't like a full on tush push formation, but there was definitely the threat of it. And you could definitely tell the Chargers were aiming for it, man. The linebackers slash kind of the secondary players were very tight over the middle, and that toss to the left, man. The Eagles clearly saw that there was only like 2 or 3 guys on that right side. And luckily for them, they were able to get 4 blockers out there. Everybody a hat on a hat. And just enough, man. Saquon finding enough space to get loose. Just great blocking, man. Great freaking blocking. Mailata may have gotten caught with a hole. May have gotten away with a hold, I should say, but all right, caught at the 5 to the 20, 25, and taken down at the 26. All right, man. The Eagles have a little bit of momentum here, man. Can the Chargers snatch it back? All right, Herbert in the shotgun, running back to his left. Hands it off to Vidal. He patiently waits, and he picks up 4 down to the 30. Holy freaking cow, man. We got 5 people watching. Let's freaking go, man. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we got Herbert in the shotgun, running back to the left there, fakes the toss. Herbert pressured, steps up in the pocket, delivers a throw to Ladd McConkey to the 40, breaks a couple tackles down to the 42, and oh, Ladd McConkey finally getting involved here. So that's a catch and about 12 yards there. So if you're in a PPR league, that is 2.2 points there. 2.2. Chris, I think you said you needed 12 out of him, so just need another 10 more, man. If you do PPR. Run up the middle. Vidal picks up 3 down to the 45. Yeah, because right now I have Ladd on my team as well. Let's see what he has. Let's see what he has. Yep. Fingers crossed. Let's go. Let me see here. Ooh, missing a couple super chats here. Sorry, some chats. Herbert in the shotgun, running back to his right. Pressure, gets off, gets away from a sack, runs, and he picks up 4 yards down to the 49. Somehow, Nakobe Dean Nakobe Dean completely unblocked. I think that's the 3rd or 4th time he has come in unblocked over the middle. Had Herbert dead to rights, had him in his arms, and then unable to wrap him and bring him down. Wow. All right, David. Well, Dave, it's like they say, if you haven't liked and subscribed, you better do it now. That sounds threatening. But hey, if it works. Now, you guys do your thing. Do your thing. But if you do, I appreciate it, man. I really, really do. We're trying to climb the charts here, man. We're just trying to climb the charts. So try not to push it. I do like to say it every once in a while, but you do what you want to do. And Herbert tries to find somebody down the field, and nothing on that one. Trying to get it to Ladd McConkey there on a corner route, and it just... Oh, no, sorry. Who the heck was he throwing that to? Was that... Oh, Vidal. Sorry. My bad. So what was looking like a good drive ends in disappointment. And Chris, yep, PPR. Let's go. Let's go. Oh. Might be a face mask there. And they cannot bring him down. They had him potentially wrapped up at the 5, and he's somehow able to find his way through the special teams unit of the Chargers. And Covey gets it down near the 27. Pretty sure he went off for about 22, 23 yards on that punt return. Just terrible. Just terrible tackling. So the Eagles offense scores a touchdown. Their defense holds the Chargers offense to a punt, and now their special teams with a 20-plus yard return on the punt, man. So, yeah, man, the Eagles with a lot of momentum right now. Let's see if their offense can keep it going. I mean, now would be a good time for a pick 6. I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah. What the football gods do with that, we'll see. I'm not wishing for it, but it would make things a lot more interesting. Mm-mm-mm. Let me see here. Yeah, so Britton Covey, 22-yard return. So yeah, right here, next gen stats. Justin Herbert has been pressured on 72% of his dropbacks tonight. 72, man. All right, 1st and 10, ball at the 27. Hurts in the shotgun, play action, has time, rolling out to his right, and he finds, who was that? Cooper with a nice first down catch along the right sideline. Hurts throws it over the middle, and it's intercepted. Oh my God, to the 50, to the 40, oh, to the 34. It's not a pick six, but it happened again. It went off the hands of A.J. Brown and into the waiting hands of the Chargers. Oh my God. Oh man, I wish I had this power every day. I've been calling some really weird things, man. I kind of jinxed Jake Elliott before the half. I called this interception basically. I was like, I don't know. David, yes. And that was a Hart with the interception. All right, the Chargers will get the ball at the 35, so hopefully they don't mess this up. They're already in field goal range. Herbert pressure, and he runs himself into a sack. He could have literally ran to the right. There was nobody there. Nobody. A whole lot of space. Picks up at least 4 or 5 yards minimum. Instead, he's like, I don't want to go there. Let me go right here where there's 3 defenders. 6 sacks on Herbert tonight. And a run by Vidal, and he picks up 5 down to the 30. Dude, Herbert is all jacked up, man. He's got a broken bone in his left hand. He's got a bloody elbow. Pretty sure he was holding on to his left shoulder a couple drives ago. All right, we got 9:45 here left in the fourth. Herbert in the shotgun, running back to his left. Eagles showing a lot of pressure. They send 4. And it's caught by Keenan Allen right at the 20. Tiptoes out of bounds. And that's a first down for the future Hall of Famer. All right, 1st and 10. Chargers in the eye, hands it off to Omarion Hampton, and takes it to the right, picks up about 3 yards down to the 17. All right, I'm gonna try to do something for you, Chris. All right, I've been throwing some heaters in this game with some of my comments and predictions. All right, Chargers are gonna get close, and it's gonna be a touchdown to Ladd McConkey. All right. Come on. Another handoff on Marion Hampton. And he's going to pick up about 5 yards, setting up a 3rd and short for the Chargers here. Well inside the 15. I got you, my man. I got you. All right, today I am Nostrum Coaches, okay? I'm trying to predict the future here. Come on. If you can say it, you can will it, man. All right, Herbert under center here. Ball at the 13. Looking, rolls out to his right, throws the ball down the field, and incomplete, intended for Ladd McConkey. Dang it. All right, we got 7:29 left. We're basically halfway through the 4th quarter, and the Chargers are about to attempt a 31-yard game-tying field goal here with Dicker the kicker. And it's good. All right, baby. We are all tied up halfway through the 4th with everything on the line here. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Sorry. Got stuck with Johnny Cash in my head there for a second. Oh, this game is being... this is the Monsters, Inc. game. That is hilarious. What if I switched over to the Monsters, Inc. broadcast? What if I'm like, Sully, dropping back, looking, he rolls to his right, finds Mike down the field. And it's Mike Wazowski with a touchdown here with a win. The turnovers would be hilarious. Yeah, let me see if I was like, all right, Jake Sully. Sully dropping back, throws. He's picked up by Mike Wazowski. Mike Wazowski fumbles the ball. Sully picks it up. Sully fumbles it, and Mike Wazowski ends up with the fumble. That would be hilarious, dude. I don't know if there's any other characters that I remember from Monsters Inc. outside of those the two main characters, but I'll give it this, man, because I think last year they did The Simpsons. It's very gimmicky. It's not for everybody. Like as a borderline football purist, I wouldn't want it obviously like all the time, but every once in a while, man, it'd be pretty funny. It'd be pretty funny. To be honest with you, I think God, what was the Simpsons one? I forgot who ended it. It was like I think Lisa. I forgot who which receiver it was, but she caught a pass and she took it off. She took off for a touchdown. That was just hilarious. Anyway, bouncing kick lands in the landing zone, and Covey able to return this one to the 30. All right, we got 721, three receivers to the left. Hurts in the shotgun. Quick throw gets it out to Devonta Smith, and he is brought down after a gain of two. Chargers playing that one perfectly, man. It was a little bubble screen on the left side. Yeah, I'll say this, man. The defenses have played very well in this game. They've been like the one saving grace. Hand off to Barkley, and he is good for another two there. So 3rd and 6 coming up. Yeah, so tonight, 2 touchdowns, 6 field goals, 4 interceptions, 5 fumbles, 3 of them lost, and a partridge in a pear tree. All right, Hurts in the shotgun, running back to his right. 3 receivers on that left side. He's got a little bit of time. He's going to roll out, pressure throws, and he's nearly intercepted trying to get it to A.J. Brown. Woo-wee. Dude, these quarterbacks, man. it's like they read Brett Favre's book. Just slinging it. Just slinging it. And how to potentially defraud the state of Mississippi. Allegedly. Kind of. I mean, never mind. Allegedly. I'm not trying to get sued here. All right. All right. Commercial break. And let's check on the stats here, man. It's been wild. I was kind of joking about the second half being a little bit more boring if we got turnovers, but we haven't gotten any turnovers. We've gotten 2 fumbles, and they've each been recovered by the team that fumbled the ball. That's not exciting. All right. Hurts, 15 for 28, 153 through the air. 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, nearly had a fourth. Saquon, 16 carries, a buck 18 on the ground, and he did have a 52-yard touchdown to help give the Eagles their first lead of the half, or of the game, I should say. Sorry. The turnovers would be hilarious. David, they definitely owe us a pick 100%. All right. At this point, I don't care who it is. Like, to help out the Packers, it would be great if the Eagles lost. But then it's just like, ooh. I mean, a Chargers loss helps out the Chiefs and the Dolphins. So. Earlier, I think we were talking Eagles had a 16-16, getting TD on a goal to the situation, after which they had to kick a field goal. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I guess when they're in the red zone, the Eagles tend to kind of finish it off. But the issue has been getting into the red zone. Why are they talking about John Lennon? Interesting. All right. 1st and 10, ball at the 25, hands it off, and Vidal is brought down in the backfield. And that is Phillips, man, who, once again, I keep on singing his praises every time we do an Eagles game, but he has been their best defensive player, or at least their most consistent defensive player since they traded for him. He's borderline single-handedly given them a decent pass rush there on the edge. Second and 11. Herbert in the shotgun. Looks. And he's going to take off and run. And he slides at the 30. Lands awkwardly on his knee. But he is good, apparently. All right, got it down near, I think, the 29 or the 30. So picks up about 5 or 6. All right, ball at the 28, 3rd and 7. 3 receivers to the left, Herbert in the shotgun. Looking, trying to find somebody, runs himself into a sack back at the 21. And that is sack number 7. Jordan Davis able to bring him down. Like, I don't know what, look at this. They're doing the replay right now. The pocket it's chaotic, but it's fine. Like, you can stand in that pocket. 2 receivers took themselves out there by getting pushed into each other. But, man, dude, I don't know. It's a great punt there by J.K. Scott, backing him up to the 22. 2 bad missed tackles. Count it, make it 3, make it 4, and another great return by Covey, man, making 4 guys miss. And it did look like he had Ladd McConkey for a first down there on the left side. I think at this point, Justin is just he's beginning to look at the pass rush way too much. He's running from pressure that really isn't there yet. He's not really looking at his receivers. He's not going through his progressions. You can tell he's like He's just expecting the pressure to get to him. And Saquon gets a handoff, and it's a gain of maybe about half a yard, maybe. Second and 9. Hurts in the shotgun, running back to his right. Smith in motion. Looks, throws, gets it out to A.J. Brown. Gets away from the defender. Picks up a big first down. And the Eagles on the move here. Woo. Some good pressure up the middle there by the Chargers, but Hurts able to get the ball out quickly. And once again, just bad tackling by the Chargers. All right, first and 10. Hurts fakes the handoff, gets it out to Goddard, and that's going to be incomplete. Way, way, way off to the sideline. Got the hiccups now. All right, second and 10, ball at the 36. Single receiver to the left, Saquon to his left, and Hurts in the shotgun. Quick throw, gets it out to A.J. Brown, who is wide open on that slant route, picks up another massive chunk. Sorry, I said that they were at the 36. They're actually at the 44. Or they were. They were in Chargers territory. I think they're down near the 30 or the 25 there. Either way, they're in field goal range for sure. And there's a 2:33 left, and the Chargers are beginning to use their timeout here because they know that worst comes to worst, the Eagles are going to be able to kick a field goal here for a potential game-winning lead. Time for a fumble. Let's hope. I mean, I wouldn't mind a pick six either, though. All right, Saquon with a carry, and he is wrapped up behind the line back at the 26. Actually, might have lost 2 on that one. Yeah, the Eagles have one of the easier schedules, man. They play the Raiders 2-11, and they play Washington twice, who are 3-2. For the Chargers, they play Kansas City 6-7, Dallas 6-1, Houston 8-5, and then they finish off the season with the number 1 seeded 11-2 Denver Broncos. And then the Eagles, in between the Commander games, they play the Buffalo Bills. So could easily see them going 3-1. All right. Hurts lofts one up, and that is in and out of the hands of A.J. Brown. He had it in the end zone, had 2 feet in bounds, but Hart able to make a great freaking play on the ball. Hart, who already has an interception here, saving a touchdown with that perfectly timed slap. And he slapped his hands, not his face. You know. And it looks like the Eagles are going to use a timeout here. Play clock was running down on them. What happens if we get like a Leon Let situation here? Let me know if you guys know what I'm talking about. All right, 5 receiver set. Hurts alone in the shotgun, ball at the 26. Quick throw, gets it out. Oh, and he drops it. Devonta Smith drops the pass. It stops the clock. Instead of forcing the Chargers to use their final timeout or even letting this get to the 2-minute warning, 2 consecutive incomplete passes, and you just gave the Chargers easily at least an extra 40 seconds. All right, Jake Elliott from 44 kicks it, and it's good. The Eagles with the lead. Oh, no. I just realized this game could end in a tie. Or, no, they can go into overtime. That's the thing I'm worried about. Oh. Why couldn't this be a 4-point game? Because then you have to go for it. Like, there's no tying it. Dang it, dude. The Chargers are going to freaking tie this game. I just realized that. All right. Kick is caught right at the 4 to the 20 to the 25 and down to the 29. So a decent return there by Kamini Vidal. All right, Herbert in the shotgun. Vidal to his right. Single receiver on that left side. Herbert almost running himself into another sack. Throws it down the field and trying to get it to Ladd McConkey. We got 2:04 left. So we're going to hit the 2-minute warning probably on this next play. All right, 4 receiver set, 3 to the left. Herbert looking, throws it down the field, and it's in and out of the hands of Ladd McConkey, man. Once again, Cooper DeJean in on the coverage. Sorry, I almost called him by his nickname. Let me see here. Which part where he messed up the TD run or the one where he messed up the live ball recovery? Uh, the TD run. Yeah, the TD run. Sorry, man. I completely forgot he had two. Oh, that's hilarious. He had two really, really bad mistakes. That's hilarious. Also, I'm sorry I missed that chat, man. I was focusing way too much on the game here. Sorry. But yeah, that's hilarious. But yeah, man, I was hoping I was like, imagine it's like a pick six. They're running, and then they fumble it just before they get to the one, and it gets returned the other way. All right, looks like we're coming back from the commercial break. We got 1:58 left in this game. The Chargers have a single timeout, and they need to get down the field in a hurry. They have the ball at their own 28. I mean, they need at least 35 to probably like 38 yards to make it a makeable field goal for Dicker. Herbert pressured, unable to connect with Quentin Johnston. And we got a late flag in the secondary. It's going to be pass interference. Automatic first down, man. The Eagles bailing out the Chargers there. I mean, that was a little ticky tacky, but I can see it kind of. I don't know if he ever turned Johnston though. Herbert taking a helmet right to the chest. All right, 154, first and 10, ball at the 37-yard line. Herbert avoids a sack, is going to take off and run. He's to the 40 and down to the 43. He had Herbert 40 yards rushing in this game. Hands it off. Vidal making a man miss. He's to the 50, down to the 48 of Philadelphia. Clock is going to continue to run. 135. Clock is running. So I would say they need at least another first down. Herbert throws it. And Keenan Allen able to pick up about 6 or 7 yards there on the right side. Tackled inbounds. The clock is running. 105. Again, if you're the Chargers, if you find something over the middle, it's worth risking or using that timeout. And Herbert misses Gadsden there on the sidelines. Yeah, right there, dude. If he hits him, that's at the 35. He's able to catch it inbounds. Probably tiptoes out of bounds, stops the clock. Yeah, that was just a miss there by Justin Herbert. 52 seconds, 3rd and 4. Herbert takes off and runs, and he is taken down right at the marker. 45 seconds, the clock is continuing to run. That was Nolan Smith that was able to bring him down. Otherwise, he might be going down to the 30 instead of the 38. 27 seconds left. Herbert with a keeper. Oh, and he slides down right at the marker, picks up 10 yards, or may have picked up only 9. Chargers use a timeout here. Perfect option executed, man. They went straight for Vidal, who was running it up the middle there. Defense never suspected Herbert. Oh, even the cameraman was faked out on that one. That was awesome. I don't know, man. If I was Justin, man, I would have kept running. I feel like they're jinxing Cameron with this. 99 of 101 kicks from inside the 50. All right, 21 seconds left. The Chargers did use their final timeout. So if they do run a play and they get taken down here, they're going to need to get to the line quickly, spike the ball, and probably just throw it away, 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 throw it away. Jesus. Herbert nearly taking a sack on that one. Dude, he's lucky that they did not get any closer, man, because they were close to being able to slap that ball slap that ball out of his hands. 15 seconds left. Man. Honestly, man, I don't like what they're doing here. Like, I get it. You're trying to get a little bit closer, but, like, you don't have a timeout, man. Can't risk it. Woo! Mitchell able to nearly undercut that route. Luckily, Herbert kind of sensed it. He kind of threw it a little high where basically nobody was going to be able to catch it. All right, we got 4th down, and we got Dicker the kicker in to tie this game up with 12 seconds left. They weren't playing for the win. No, they were not. That's what I was afraid of. 46 yards, and the kick is good. Oh, man, for a second there, it was veering to the right, but it sliced back inside. And Cameron Dicker the kicker. 8 seconds left, and we are all tied up at 19. See? Nostrum coaches. I said it. This game was going to go into overtime. I knew the Chargers were not going to be bad enough to miss the field goal, but I also knew they were not going to be good enough to score a freaking touchdown to win it. Okay, so hear me out. Maybe we get a fumbled kickoff and Dicker gets the kick again. Ooh. That would be hilarious if this game ends on a turnover. it would be very fitting for what we've had. Oh man, hold on. All right. Kick is away, caught at the 1, to the 10, to the 20. Is he going to return it all the way home? No, he does not. Down to the 27, 3 seconds left. So unless a wild play here happens with 3 seconds left, we are definitely heading to overtime. Please, come on, pick 6. Oh, the Eagles are just going to take a knee. Boo! You suck. Yeah. All right. All right. Shouldn't be surprised. All right, baby. All right. We haven't had an OT game in a while. The last one, I think, that we did on the channel, was it the Cowboys and Packers? I think so. C-Strong! Good morning, sir. How we doing? Sorry, man. It's been that kind of game. Seastrom, howdy, howdy, howdy. There we go. Everybody say hello to Seastrom. Seastrom, you been watching the game, or are you just popping in? And if you've been watching the game, man, what have you thought so far? I think there's like 9 sacks and like 7 turnovers in this game. Yeah, so if you're not exactly sure of the rules in overtime, anybody that's watching, so it's 1 10-minute period. They each team, no matter what, unless there is a safety or a defensive touchdown, if the first team scores a touchdown, the second team has a chance to respond. And if they score a touchdown after that, it is sudden death. Whoever scores next after that wins the game. And yes, it can end in a tie, as we learned, or as we saw earlier this season with the Cowboys and the Packers. Just popping in. Ooh, right on, my man. Right on. Yeah. To be honest with you, the second half wasn't too exciting. We've had some decent offensive plays here and there. A couple fumbles that were recovered by the same team that fumbled it. But then the first half, man, first half was absolutely wild. On one play, Hurts threw an interception. It was literally as the player was returning it, he gets the ball punched out. He fumbles it. Hurts picks it up, and then he gets hit, and he fumbles it, and it's recovered by the Chargers. So it went interception to the Chargers, fumbled, recovered by the Eagles, and then fumbled again to the Chargers, all in the span of like 4 seconds. And then I think it was like 1 or 2 possessions later, once again, Hurts throws an interception. And on the very next play for the Chargers, Justin Herbert gets sacked, fumbles the ball right back to the Eagles. And yeah, I think it was 5 turnovers in a span of 11 plays. Yeah, absolutely insane and crazy. Seems we're getting a standoff, David. You're rooting against the Chargers. I'm rooting against the Eagles. To be honest with you, I feel like David is just rooting for chaos at this point. Because he's not rooting for the Eagles for sure. We got Saquon eating a banana on the sidelines on the bicycle. All right. Chargers won the. Sorry, actually, the Chargers, I think, lost the toss. And, whoa, Vidal losing his helmet on a hit gets it down near the 29. But the Chargers, anyway, will get the ball to start the overtime here. They only get 2 timeouts here. All reviews will be up from the booth. All right. Herbert keeps it, runs it, and he picks up 12 yards before going out of bounds. All right, man. That's Herbert, man, has to be very close to like 60 yards at this point. Well, I picked the Eagles to win, but I'm rooting for a pick six. There you go. They should be fine for helmet to helmet defenseless stuff, but the NFL doesn't care. Nah, man. They just want to make sure they get sued. That's all they care about. And it's a run to the 50. He's loose. Oh, Marion Hampton getting it down to the 40, and that's a massive run, close to 20 yards on that one. Let's see here. Yeah, very close. Very, very close here. Ball, it'll be 1st and 10, ball at the 40. We got the 2 tight end set. Big fullback in the middle and picks up 2. Holy cow, man. We got 6 people watching an overtime game on Monday, baby. Thank you for being here, man. I know it's late for most people, so I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you guys are new or just joining us, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't. Helps the video out a ton. Helps out the channel a ton as well. All right. Herbert in the shotgun, running back to his right. 2 receivers stacked up on the left. And they get it out to the big tight end there on the right side. Only picks up about a yard or 2. Not exactly sure what they were thinking on that one. I feel like Ladd McConkey, when he's running a shallow route, kind of within 3 to 7 yards, he's open. But the only time they've targeted him is when he's running deep down the field, and usually he's been well covered on all of those. All right, 3 receivers to the left. Herbert in the shotgun, running back to his right, looking. He's gonna take off and run, and picks up a yard once again. Herbert kind of breaking, trying to get out of the pocket for no reason. The pressure wasn't getting there. They sent 4. The offensive line was doing a good job. That was a really good play by Nolan Smith. All right, this one from 54, man. This is the longest kick of Dickers' the game. And it's good. I was about to say, I don't know why, but I was going to say it was his career. But I was like, no, he's had a longer one than this. But yeah, either way, the 54-yarder is good, and the Chargers are just a defensive stop away from winning this one. So there's a beat writer, Alex Katzen, tweeting, "I'll build the Cameron Dicker statue myself if I by my damn self if I have to." All right, Dicker kicks it away here. Caught inside the 5, return to the 15, to the 20, 25, and Covey getting it down to the 31. So the Eagles can win this one with a touchdown. A field goal will tie it, but it'll be sudden death. And then next score wins. All right, we got 6:18 left. All right, Saquon with a run up the middle, and he picks up 4 down to the 35. Tie, 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 tie. Actually, tie does sound good to eat, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think there's a tie place, but I think they close at 11. Nah, can't do it. It's always to me. It's always been a rule. Even if you're taking it to go within the last half hour to like 20 minutes, can't order food, man. People are trying to clean up dishes. They're trying to get home. It's my thing. Don't order food in the last 20 minutes. Hurts looking incomplete. Pass is way too high, man. Just missing a wide open A.J. Brown. Yeah, Brown running a shallow crosser, and okay, now I see what happened. Brown kind of started bending it down, like basically losing yardage. He kind of bent it down towards the line of scrimmage. I think if he would have just stayed flat, Hurts, he would have been able to hit him right on the spot. Hurts looking, breaks the pocket. He's going to take off and run, picks up the first. He's across the 50 and down to the 47. But we do have a flag. Holding against the Eagles, and that'll wipe away a massive, massive run. And that is going to be against the center, Cam Jurgens. Putting too much of that lotion on his hands. He had to kind of grip it to be able to make sure he was blocking. You know, it's just saying, man, it's winter. You got to make sure you're hydrated, but I think you went a little too far with the Jurgens. Some of the dumb stuff I say on this channel, man. I'm glad I can't get fired from this. And it's a throw. Devonta Smith with a big catch over the middle. First down. Woo-wee. Dude, from their own 26. Oh, beautiful. Perfectly timed. Wow, dude. Wow. Right behind the defender there. All right, they're in Chargers territory, basically where they would have gotten the ball if the holding penalty wouldn't have taken it back. And Saquon runs, and he loses a yard on the play. Second and 11 coming up. Cam Lotion Jurgens. Heck yeah. Also, I'm not besmirching Jurgens. It's good. It's good. It's affordable. It does its job, and it doesn't leave too much of an oily residue. This stream brought to you by... No, I'm kidding. All right, we got 330. Hurts looking, throws, hit as he throws, and he finds Dallas Goedert for a couple yards there. They had Khalil Mack in the coverage there. Not great. Not a great decision. No offense to Khalil Mack. He's more of a pass rusher. He's really good at that. Yep. Oh, look at that, man. Dallas Goedert tapping the toes there. Picking up 6 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 4. They're already just around the outskirts of Jake Elliott's field goal range here. They're at the 40, roughly the 41.5 yard line. Lofts one up, and then it's... Yeah, what the heck kind of effort was that by A.J. Brown? He just tried to one-hand that when I'm pretty sure his second hand was free. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Never mind. They're battling. All right. And the Eagles are foregoing a game-tying field goal. They're on 4th and 4. They're going for it here. Or smooth Cam. Ooh. I like that one. Smooth Cam Jurgens. I like that one, dude. I think we're gonna have to adapt that one. All right, we got 3:23 here. The Chargers did use one of their 2 timeouts here. I think they're just trying to make sure they get the right personnel out there. All right, man. The Eagles are not willing to settle for a tie here. They're going for the win or the loss, which I respect. Come on, pick 6. All right, 5 receiver set, 3 to the left, and I think they're going to get the Chargers for jumping off sides. And it's the former Charger, and that'll be a 1st down. Oh, boy. All right, 1st and 10. Ball just around the 37. Hurts in the shotgun, running back to his left. And caught by Goedert. Picks up about 4 yards there. Wow. Smooth Cam Jurgens. Second and 7. Hurts looking, running. Finds a wide open receiver, and it's going to be inside the 20. Dallas Goedert, once again, man, has just been borderline almost everything for this Philly offense. Outside of A.J. Brown with some really, really impressive catches down the field, Dallas Goedert has been the guy for almost everything else. Ball at the 17, 1st and 10. Pressure, and it's tipped. It's intercepted. It's over. The Chargers win. Oh my God. And it was Jahan Dotson. It's Dotson. It's Dotson. Nobody cares because the Eagles have lost. Unfreaking believable. He threw it into double coverage. It got tipped by the first defender who tried to undercut the route, and then the second defender able to adjust and just snatch that one out of the air. Wow, dude. From the clutches of defeat, the Chargers snatching this one at home, and they send the Eagles back to Philly with a loss. That is a hell of a play there by Hart. Number 20, he was covering the guy in the flat. I'm assuming he saw Hurts' eyes trying to deliver the ball behind him. He leaves his own guy, gets enough of the ball to pop it up, and it gets picked off inside the 5. Hot damn, that's a freaking play. And it ends in a turnover, baby. The game with so many freaking turnovers, it had to end that way. Wow. Seastrom, holy cow, is correct, my man. It would not have felt right if this game ended any other freaking way. Damn. All right. It's not going to fit on here, but we're going to make it work. Oh, hold on. Question mark. Nope. Overtime final. Unbelievable. That's the best way to end the game. Yes, sir. He got Dotson. He got Dotson. I mean, the summary for this game, man, best of luck, my man. Best of luck. Oh, man. Yeah. Honestly, man, yeah, if you write the description or the summary for this, I'm going to put it, if it's okay with you, I'll give you credit. I'm going to put it in the description of the video. If it's okay with you, let me know. But holy cow, man, because that is going to be, that's going to be one that definitely, if people click on this video for some reason in the future, you know, it'd be nice to have a little bit of a summary. Oh, man. Holy freaking cow. That was Tony Jefferson with the interception, by the way. I gave credit to Hart for making the deflection, but Jefferson is the guy that was able to almost stop his momentum, snatch it out of the air, and then just, wow, dude. That is a hell of... let me see here. Jalen Hurts threw 4 interceptions and missed receivers all night. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith had huge drops, and one by Brown for the interception. Yeah, man. Yeah, this was a rough game for some of the biggest stars on the Eagles offense, man. Hurts had a rough game. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith all had major drops on, you know, 3rd down, or some of them that caused interceptions. Saquon was really the only guy that seemed to, especially in the second half, man, to be able to really do something with it. And I still don't understand why they're not really running the ball with him or finding ways to get him the ball in the passing game. Literally your best player on offense. Damn, dude, that was I'll give this game this, man. It was not a great 3rd and 4th quarter, but the overtime, it delivered, bro. It freaking delivered. All right. So let me update the records here. The Eagles, they now fall to 8-5, man. They are on a 3-game skid. And then Chargers improved to 9-4. They are keeping pace. They are probably a win, one more win away from securing a playoff spot for sure, guaranteeing their spot in the playoffs. Dude, that is incredible, man. That was a yeah. What do you guys think, man? What are your thoughts when you saw that freaking play? We got 7 people watching right now, man. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you. Holy freaking cow, man. So yeah, let's kind of start from the beginning. Chargers, they were looking like the better team in the first, I would say the first quarter and a half. Um, Obviously scored the touchdown on their opening drive, able to get it out to Omarion Hampton there with a pass to the right. It was set up by the 60-yard catch by Kamini Vidal just a few plays before. But after that, they kind of stalled out, were able to kick a field goal before the half. The Eagles not really being able to do much at all in the uh, in the first half. A lot of turnovers. I think they had 3 turnovers, a couple fumbles. Sorry, 2 interceptions and a fumble. They were able to attempt a last-second field goal to try to cut the lead down to to just 1. It would have been 9-10, but Jake Elliott missing a kick there. Obviously, it could have been the difference at the end of the game, but he is by no means the biggest issue for the Eagles right now, in any sense. If it wasn't for him, they would not have come close to bringing this into overtime. They were horrendous for most of the game. And coming into the third, it was a little bit touch and go, a lot of defense and a lot of punts. There's a couple more fumbles, but they were once again recovered by the team that fumbled it. So no major turnovers. And then coming into the fourth, Eagles started to gain some momentum, scored a touchdown, obviously kicked a couple more field goals, took the lead with I think it was like 2:30 something left, 2:23 left probably. And the decision to pass it twice back to back, trying to get somebody in the end zone or deep into the red zone. It came back to bite the Eagles, man, because that kept the clock. It stopped the clock. It kept the Chargers from using their final timeout. It kept them from getting this to the 2-minute warning. And the Chargers, man, they needed almost every single second, man. Every single second, they needed that timeout. And then the Chargers were down 19-16. They were able to get down the field, man. Able to find some running lanes for, weirdly enough, Justin Herbert, who I'm pretty sure finished as the leading rusher for the Chargers in this game. Maybe Omarion Hampton was able to kind of supersede him there with that big run towards the end. Let's check it out. Nope, Justin Herbert, 10 carries, 66 yards, 10 more than Omarion Hampton. And then they were able to set up a game-tying field goal there at the end, able to go down the field, and instead of trying to go for it, trying to be aggressive, Jim Harbaugh said, no, let's kick the field goal and let's play some defense. Our defense has been saving our butt for most of the game anyway. And the Eagles, man, they looked like they were marching down the field. They were picking up chunks with A.J. Brown, with Dallas Goedert. And instead of kicking a field goal on 4th and 4, granted, it worked out because Owe jumped off sides, so that gave them a first down to get the ball even further down the field. And the decision by the Eagles not to run the ball that had been the most effective part of the second half for them. Saquon, 20 carries, 122 yards, 6 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. was starting to find more running lanes in the second half and then even a little bit into overtime. But instead, they put the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands, a passing game that has been relatively ineffective for most of the season. And again, Hurts, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions with that coming into that final throw. It has not been great, and instead, Hart makes a great freaking play, peeling off of his assignment, able to get enough of the ball to tip it up and into the hands of Jefferson for the game sealing interception. And that is how the Chargers move on to 9-4, and the Eagles drop their third consecutive game and they fall to 8-5 on the year. So Steve, now I am more angry about Dallas' loss. Yeah, man, dude. If the Cowboys would have been able to win, man, they would be what, a game behind, right? They would have been 7-6-1. So yeah, they would have been roughly a game behind the Eagles. Yeah, but I mean, the good news is this Eagle loss. I mean, it keeps the Cowboys season alive. So they just need to win, man. That's all the Cowboys need to do. If they can beat the Eagles, they got the Eagles. No, no, they don't have the Eagles one more time. Damn. So yeah. So if you're a Cowboys fan, you are rooting for the Commanders to beat the Eagles twice. All right. But what are your guys' thoughts, man? I'm still trying to find other things that I might be missing here, man. But yeah, give me your thoughts, please, because that is wild. It was a wild finish. It was a wild first 2 quarters, and the overtime, man, really, really finished this game off on a high note. So, but to be honest, since fumble against Dallas Eagles changed a lot, it's very true, man. It's crazy to think that the Eagles were, what were they, 3-0 at some point in the season, 4-0. Yeah, so they beat the Cowboys in Week 1, beat the Chiefs, beat the Rams, beat the Buccaneers. So yeah, they were 4-0, man. Since then, they have gone 4-5. They lost to the Broncos and the Giants back to back. Then they beat the Vikings, and then they came back and beat the Giants. They beat the Packers. And then they beat the Lions. So they went on a 4 game winning streak. They were 8-2 at one point, and since then, they have lost to the Cowboys after going up 21-0. They have lost to the Bears, and then finally tonight they lose to the Chargers in overtime, 22-19, to drop their third consecutive game. Now they're going to have to recover. They go against the Raiders. They have the Commanders, the Bills, and then they finish off the season with the Commanders for the second time. So, a lot to play for the Eagles. Luckily for them, their division is not very strong, so they are still very much in the lead in their division. Let's see here. Let's check out the standings. Right now, the Chargers are firmly in second place in the AFC West. They are ahead of the Colts. They are ahead of the Texans. They're ahead of the Ravens. And right now they are tied with the Buffalo Bills with a 9-4 record. And right now for the Eagles, let me see here. At 8-5, right now, obviously they're the division champs, so they're fighting for the top 4 seeds at this point. Cowboys are 2 games behind, right? Yeah, 2 games behind, or a game and a half, technically, I guess. So yeah, if the Eagles lose 2 games and the Cowboys basically win out and they go 10-6-1, they will have leapfrog the Eagles. That's basically what you're hoping for here if you're the Cowboys. Because I think for the Eagles to go 1-3, that might be a little bit too much, but they can easily go 2-2 over their final games. But that means the Cowboys have to win out. Damn. Damn. See here. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think so. So let's freaking go, man. Holy cow. We still got 7 people watching, man. You guys are crazy. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It helps out the video, helps out the channel a ton. It's a great free way to support me on the channel. But regardless, I appreciate you guys watching, man. All right, guys. It's week 14, man, in the freaking books. Thank you so much, man. Thank you to everybody. Let me give some shout outs before we head out here. So, Chris, shout out to you, my man. Hey, man, Dolphins. Gotta keep it going, man. They still have a chance. Shout out to David. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to Dahlia. Go, Pack, go. Let's go. Captain Mickey Mouse, you were in here a little bit, my man. I appreciate you. Hopefully the Bills keep winning for you, buddy. And then we had Dylan in here for a little bit. Dylan Hale, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for hanging out with us for a little bit. So hopefully we'll see you again, my dude. Thank you. And then, of course, Steve, my man. Appreciate you being here, dude. Thank you so much. Steve, let me see here. Now Eagle fans will throw tomatoes instead of eggs against Coach House. You know, man, so it's like you can make some really good sandwiches with those tomatoes, man. You gotta save them. Like throw like I'm trying to think here. Throw like a beet, you know, like a beet or like a turnip, like a strong root vegetable. You know, something that you kind of have to cook. You know, like tomatoes, they're good. They're good. They're good in salads. They're good in sandwiches. They're good on burgers. They're pretty good on a burrito too. If you throw some on there, that's not bad. Quesadillas, tacos. Even though I don't really like tomatoes on tacos, I'm more of a traditional cilantro, onions kind of guy. But you know, to each their own. But yeah, man. So yeah, don't throw eggs. Don't throw tomatoes. Throw some turnips. You know, something tough. All right, guys. Don't throw anything at anybody's houses. All right, I'm just joking. That's not. Yeah, just be decent human beings. It's a football game. Talk your smack if you want to, but don't throw things at people's house. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Another week in the books. We're gonna be getting started with week 15 on Thursday, so make sure you tune into those, man. Yeah, we're gonna keep it rolling, man. We're gonna keep it freaking rolling. So. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. And once again, my name is Dave, and I'm not a coach. Thank you. David, appreciate you, my man. Thank you. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you next week. Woo!